Hey everybody, one that was bored, never boring. The other day I posted a video talking about the forthcoming retail release of the latest round of Games Workshop bookshelf games. These are available in the UK, US, Canada and Germany and are already up for pre-order on the Game and Barnes & Noble websites. According to those websites, the UK retail release is on the 9th of September, while the US retail release is the 11th of September. All three games look pretty good, but Doomsday Countdown is the most appealing to me as a co-op game from the Space Marine Adventures series that has already produced two very enjoyable games. But, having visited all three websites for the games, downloaded the rules and taken time to think about it, I thought it was worth doing a quick follow-up video to talk a little more about what you are getting for your money. First of all, Doomsday Countdown, which retails for $39.99 in the UK or $44.99 in the US. For your plastic, you get a squad of 3 easy build intercessors and a set of the 7 Blackstone Fortress Chaos Cultists from Escalation, minus the Firebrand leader. These intercessors retailed for £10, but they aren't available from Games Workshop anymore. The Chaos Cultists retail for £15 as the Cultists of the Abyss box set, but that includes the Firebrand, so don't look at this box as a cheap way of getting cool miniatures. That said, the game itself looks solid, it's fully co-op, it looks closer to Crypt Hunters in terms of rules, and has a series of objectives for the Space Marines to obtain in order to win. There are tunnels in the game that spawn cultists and the Marines must seal all of them. The Marines must also locate a control panel, acquire a deactivation code, find the Doomsday device, use the deactivation code on the Doomsday device, and then all make it to the elevator to escape. There are special actions for achieving those goals, but for the most part the Marines are going to be using their 3 actions to move and shoot, which will be familiar to Lost Patrol players. The main concern is that every game is going to be the same. You have the same 3 Marines facing the same cultist enemies, trying to achieve the same series of objectives. The first game in the Space Marine Adventures line was Labyrinth of the Necrons, which had 3 missions, interchangeable Marines, and a variety of ways to make missions tougher. This gave the game more replayability than it initially seemed, and that got even better with the 2 expansions. Rise of the Orcs only had 4 levels over a static map, and that meant replayability was much lower, and it seems this new game might also fall a little more on that end of the scale. Of course, every time you play you will get a different modular map to fight over, and the way enemies act is determined by the random draw of AI cards, which will change things up a bit, but predominantly it's going to be the same experience. That being said, the designers have attempted to squeeze as much out of this setup as possible, with a number of ways to encourage replays. First, there are 14 war gear cards, and at the start of each game you get 6. This allows for a little variety in how your team is set up and what you can do on any given turn. Next, there's a campaign mode, which plays across 3 levels. When you play the campaign mode, you carry over the same 3 Marines and the same war gear from mission to mission. Finally, there are the achievements. We've seen this idea before in other Games Workshop games. In particular, I'm thinking of Assassinorum Execution Force and of course Crypt Hunters. The idea is you set yourself different challenges, like reducing the value of all of your dice rolls by 1 for the whole game, or you start the game with fewer turns until the Doomsday device goes off. If you still win, you can tick off that achievement. Anyway, I think I could talk about Space Marine Adventures all day, but there are 2 more games and I want to look at those briefly as well. Next up is Fireteam, which is $44.99 in the UK or $49.99 in the US. This is the board game version of Kill Team, pitting a squad of Primaris Marines against Necrons. For plastic in the box you get 5 Assault Intercessors, 10 Necrons and 3 Scarab Swarms. These are all the easy build miniatures that come in the Recruit edition of the 40k starter set, which retails in the UK for $32.50 but which also includes a Royal Warden and a Primaris Lieutenant. The game is a 2-player head-to-head skirmish over a hex board, and it looks like the focus is on keeping it short and sharp with plenty of tactical choices, as each game only lasts 3 turns. At first blush, replayability may seem a bit limited, but there are numerous ways in which variables and options have been baked into the design. First, there are 12 different missions, played on one of 2 different battlefields. Next, there are 12 Target of Opportunity cards. At the start of a game, each player gets 3 of these at random, and in each turn they have the option of revealing 1. These cards provide additional objectives to score victory points. Another way to increase replayability is through the campaign. This sees 2 players face off over a series of games where winning a battle will allow a player to undertake a special operation that will change the regular flow of gameplay in some way. Each team has a set of 3 special operations, and completing all 3 means success in the campaign. Additionally, winning missions in campaigns grants special war gear. These are one-use items you can keep until you need them. When winning your special operations, you are granted extra boons in the form of battle honours. This gives some sense of progression to your team and further modifies the gameplay. Finally, the box adds all the cards and rules for 4 more kill teams. All you need to do is add the miniatures. Games Workshop previously did this with Blitz Bowl, and it was a fantastic way to increase the longevity of the game. It's possible they may repackage these as expansions, but all the models are available in squad boxes from Games Workshop right now. If you want to play as the Tau, you will need a squad of XV25 stealth suits. You can buy a box from Games Workshop for £20 or $34. To play as Tempestus Scions, you will need a squad of 5 Tempestus Scions, which are £25 from Games Workshop or $38. To play as Harlequins, you need a Harlequin troop for £25 or $40. Finally, to play as the Orcs, you will need an Orc Knobs box for £20 or $34. These appear to be temporarily out of stock in the US though. Time is moving on, and so must I, because we have one more game to look at. It's Bladeborn, which retails for $44.99 in the UK or $49.99 in the US. This is basically a board game version of Warcry, but also shares a lot of DNA with Fireteam. In fact, while there are differences in the rules for things like combat and activating special abilities, they share the same campaign structure, and even sections of the rules book, like the bit about distance, are exactly the same for both games. While this game is like Warcry's little sibling, the warbands actually come from Underworlds. In the box you get the Godsworn Hunt and Kagraz Ravengers, so 10 models total. The Godsworn Hunt is currently available as a direct order only item from Games Workshop for £15 or $25, and that's just for the miniatures, no Underworld cards. Meanwhile, Kagraz Lot is still available as an Underworld's warband for £25 in the UK, while it's showing as out of stock in the US where it retails for $40. As with Fireteam, we are looking at a relatively simple quick to play skirmish game on a hex-based grid for 2 players. And as with Fireteam, there are 12 different battles, which are played over one of 2 different battlefields. There are also 14 twist cards. You play one of these per game, and they have some kind of effect on gameplay that helps to mix up how each battle unfolds. As I mentioned, the campaign is very much like the one in Fireteam, where winning a battle will allow you to play a convergence, and if you ever win all 3 of your convergences, you will win the campaign. Winning campaign battles earns you lesser artifacts, while winning convergences win you more powerful artifacts for use in subsequent battles. Once again, we also have the rules and cards for 4 more teams, and as you might expect, they are all warbands from Underworlds. There are the Eyes of the Nine, the Disciples of Tzeentch, which are available direct from Games Workshop for £15 in the UK or $25 in the US. There is Garrick's Reavers, a Khorne warband that is also available from Games Workshop for £15 or $25. Then there is the Dread Pageant of Slaanesh, which are from the Diachasm starter set, and Grashrak's Beastman Despoilers, which are from the Beastgrave starter set. Neither of these are currently available from Games Workshop as separate purchases. All things considered, I would suggest those are probably not the best warband choices for being easily available, but there is the possibility that Games Workshop have planned a series of expansions for these warbands. Whether those expansions will be exclusive to certain territories or available everywhere where the base game is available is another matter. And I think I've said enough for now. Obviously, I haven't played any of these games. These are just some initial thoughts on what you get, what the replayability may be like, and how you can expand those games, so take everything with a pinch of salt, but hopefully knowing in advance what additional teams you can use may help someone to make a purchasing decision based on what they already have in their collections. And that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.